Obviously, because of clinics have to wear short nails, I sort of make these when I have my little, sort of intimate moments with myself. Today is a day that I needed to put them on. Like, you ever feel like, when you just need one of those fix me up, make me beautiful kind of days, like make me beautiful, like make me gorgeous, like accentuate my features type of day with literally every single type of shenanigan that the Lord says not to be infatuated by in Isaiah 3, but like one of those days where you just like need it, this is like, whoops. It's kind of a little bit difficult for me to, always expose where I'm at which point in my life, if you understand what that means. Like, girl, if you don't know how to move in silence, then oh my goodness, how many plans of yours fail only because you're telling the wrong people? Only because you're telling the wrong people. How many plans of yours fail because you're telling the wrong people? Put on these accessories. You guys already should know that your girl is obsessed with rings, especially my hands. I've always dreamed about becoming a hand model for some reason. It always makes me feel good inside, so I always try and dress up my hands as best as I can. Sometimes I don't really care. I go through those phases. It jumps in and out my life. And now I have glasses, eyes, and those are the types of things that I don't want. Shall we? I've been going through it a little bit. I'm going in with my foundation first. I'm just trying to go back to a little bit of old routines, old regimes, just to kind of figure out, sometimes during this awakening journey, of yourself, because at the end of the day, sooner or later you'll realize something about yourself, and you realize you're not who people say you are. You're actually so much more, and you can become anything other than what people are telling you to become, or what they are wanting you to become, essentially, and that's the awakening, realizing that you don't have to become what people project you to become, or what people expect you to become, or what people push you to become, rumor you to be, etc. And I'm sort of in that kind of little bubble. Varsity used to be such a anybody who's experienced varsity, who's from a small town, coming from a brown community, coming from racial segregation history, obviously all of us, we know, first generation graduates of universities, you guys understand what it feels like to be at a university. First of all, the amount of work that you have to put in and the pressures that come with it, and there you kind of meet whether if you can cope under pressure or not, or whether you break under pressure. Some people break under pressure at school, others break under pressure at varsity, others break under pressure in life, others break under pressure when they're old. It's when you get to this age, it's a whole, like, you see so much, right? And all the information just comes in at a rate of speed. And if you're anything like me, you process so fast. Like, I can either relate or learn from your experience, and that is kind of what this phase of my life is really is. Like, me just either experiencing life for myself or experiencing life through the lenses of others, and then defining who I want to allow to define me, because everybody in this world is going to have a say about you, even if they don't know you. This really is a medium coverage, and today, guys, when I tell you I need to be a full coverage girly today, and guys, and I understand why. You know, the quick glam girlies are quick glam girlying because content needs to be pushed out. There is no time to sit down. I don't want to talk down on what you feel is tough for you to handle, because that's why I'm here. I feel like certain situations in my life for me right now is tough for me to handle. Some of these things that are happening in my life is quite trifling, to be honest. It's quite trifling. Dampening up this thing as you're supposed to dampen it. Oh my goodness, what's her name? I wish I knew her name. Thank you, because the bounce and the jiggle, my money don't jiggle, jiggle, it folds, bruh. Nice, stunning. I love it. I love a good bouncer. For the past, I guess, week, I've experienced some major changes in the shift of my adulthood, realizing that I have a full career, a full profession, and I still want to have a social media career as well. Like, imagine that. Or not even a social media career. I wanna invest my time by having fun with what I love doing, and this is one of them, you know? And so when you kind of do it and you have the mindset that I have, you can kind of see where this type of thing can benefit a lot of people. When you blow up, so many beautiful things happen for you, and you kind of get to give that to other people around you, and you kind of get to build opportunities on top of that. You know, you have so many people that came up with their own line, so you kind of see what happens if you truly invest your time into it. If you truly just become consistent with what you're doing and your craft, and you really enjoy what you're doing, then by all means, why not really invest time and energy and effort into something and seeing where it takes? And if it doesn't go anywhere, you can say you didn't only have fun, but you gave it your all in having fun, if that makes sense. I always used to do my eyebrows before I would conceal, because then I would just bake everything holistically. That used to work so much better for me than just concealing, baking, and then doing my eyebrows. So let's go back to that. And everybody's face beats are different. Just because you're putting makeup on your face a different way, if you put on eyebrows first, if you put them on last, it really doesn't matter. If you get on a beauty mug and you look cute and you feel great and you feel confident, your job is done. The makeup's job is done. Your job is done. You just have to go out there and live your cutest life. That is basically it. And so that's what I'm trying to do today. I'm trying to create content even if I don't feel like creating content, and I want to create real content because I don't want to be here and you know, read some script and just be, you know, kind of fake happy. I don't want to be fake happy today. I want to be here, and I want to be sad, but I want to talk about, even when you're sad, be consistent. And depending on the career that you are needed in, fake it till you make it. Like, if I was at a hospital right now, or if I was at a clinic right now, my patients would not know that what I'm obviously going through. But with you guys, it's a lot more different than, you know, you being my patient. You get to experience my personal life because I allow you to, because I want you to, because I want friends, because I want people to talk to, because I want people who could tell me that in certain situations that, you know, you're strong, you could get through this. And when it comes to the area that I'm in my life right now, it's like you look around and you realize, I don't have people that I could call. And that it's not a problem. I have people that I can call. It's just I don't feel secure enough to call them, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? And I have a lack of people who I feel secure in calling. And so I experience the sort of alone, go through your life alone, your life lessons, your life experiences, your life awakening, without being able to reach out to people and just be like, hey, I need you. It makes sense why the Bible says don't vent, because that's the only thing that we do with people. If we're not physically helping them in areas, if we're not spiritually helping them in areas, if we're not financially helping them in areas, if we're not physically, mentally, emotionally helping them in areas, we vent. Emotionally, it's venting. Physically, you can take me to the gym. Financially, you can help me. Spiritually, you can help me pray. But emotionally, what are you doing for me? And a lot of the times when you need emotional support, it's not there. And emotional support is usually correlated or connected to venting. And in this season of my life, I'm experiencing just the harsh lesson of remember the time where you had so many people that you could call and just be like, hey girl, none of them, because you shouldn't vent. And I need you to understand why you shouldn't vent, because not only does venting decrease your strength majority of the times when you need people, or when you let go of your boundaries because you need people, or when you weaken yourself and your standards because you need people. That type of venting, that's what that causes. And to me, in this season, I'm being taught you need to be careful about who you're venting to, because people that you're trying to call are the actual ones who are waiting for that call to tell them that you're defeated, to hear from you that you feel defeated, that you are defeated, that life is throwing you major curveballs and you do not know how to handle it. They're waiting for that call. People are waiting for you to step out of your lane so that they can fill your spot. Always remember that. I'm an empath. I know what it feels like to be there for someone, so I know what it feels like to not have someone be there for you. And that experience to me is kind of just new in the season. And so that's kind of where I'm at. Comment down below if you've experienced it, if you're in that season. What did you do to through the season to overcome it? Like your future aspect towards like friendships in general, relationships in general. Like, how do you allow people into your life? How do you accept that you can almost never have expectations for people? You see that deep well of information? It's a lot, but I would love to know, what are your thoughts on it? Comment down below. Because these areas usually don't get as oily as your forehead and kind of the higher areas of your face, which is like your cheekbone area and like under your eyes. Maybe, at least to me, I don't know if to you it may be different. So I tend to wipe my powder, my setting powder, away after, I guess, like, let's say like 30, let's say a minute, let's say like a hot minute, and then maybe less than a minute, and then I wipe it away, because I also don't want it to stay there. Remember, as you are pressing powder into your face, it sets to your liquid product. As I have my, you know, if you're a content creator and you're creating to be consistent, then you have to at least think about having a schedule, and you have to at least think about how to maintain that consistency. And if you drop the ball, I don't know why I always decide to talk when I'm doing my eyebrows and when I'm concealing them, and I know I cannot talk when I conceal them, so I'm just gonna do them right back, and then we're gonna continue that story. Okay.
personally smuggling millions of dollars, leaving for the parking lot with breasts that would make Colonel Sandwiches.
And may the best woman win.
You know, I am excited for today's eye look. And I don't know why I just wanted to raise my hand like I'm in high school or like primary school or something. I saw this look on Pinterest and I'm like, this is it. This is what we're gonna put on our eyes today. Oh, it looks so sexy and dreamy and everything that I want. It's a variety of colors and it's just like, it just looks like, don't talk to me, sit over there, I'm going through it and my face is telling you that I'm going through it, so just don't come at me. Or don't worry, I know about this. We'll see when the time comes. Trust the process. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I finally have one of these things. It's called an eyeshadow primer. And for a long period of time, or ever since I started doing makeup, I have used concealer for priming my lids, and I've obviously concealed my eyebrows, but not my lids, and so we're gonna use some Urban Decay eyeshadow primer all over the lid. And I don't know how much you put on. A clean little fluffy brush and sort of just stamp blend it, if that makes sense. Stamp blend it. And then we're gonna wipe the setting powder away from under our eyebrows, because remember, we've set our concealer under our eyebrows in place. End up using the same fluffy brush if you want to, just slightly under the eyes. Like that. Little, and then maybe clean off the edges just a tad bit. So I have a very gentle hand when you are brushing away your powder.
I don't have the time to teach you what I know all over again.
So that I know exactly how to mute it out. Oh my goodness, this is a cute blood girl. Yes, I see you guys are looking at the fact that this old bad boy is still there. Oh, I thought you guys were trusting the process with me. I thought that's what you guys were doing. That's not what you guys were doing. I thought that was what we're here for. And using it as cultivating relationships with, you know, with people. Just make sure that when you do that, don't be as rough and as rogue as me. Like, really go in and make sure that you're blending it out straight, because you don't want a crooked nose. And then you can always go in with your concealer brush to make sure that, look at that. That nose is perfect, girl. Look at that nose is perfect. And then I like to blend out my blush like as my contour goes down as well. I don't know, I just find that like nice to do that. Sometimes I bring it to my forehead, I bring it to my jaw, just so that we have like a splash of color everywhere on the face to even out the shadows that we created when we placed our new bone structure. If you're from South Africa, a lot of you guys know this bad boy. So this is my face contour palette. These are all my powders that I use. Further than Sean Kingston. And you know he could take you. You're a canvas, like you're a beautiful, beautiful painted canvas, and you don't want anything to, you know, harsh your vibe and your boy, don't be killing my vibe. Oh my goodness, I was cool already. But ooh, I don't know if you know that song, but if you don't know that song, then you should listen to Fake Ass. I kind of like it this bushy. I don't know, I kind of like it this bushy. Let's figure out what to do with lips. I am pretty proud of myself right now as I'm applying this lashes, as I know that it might be load shedding in the next 15 minutes. Load shedding has been really kicking my behind lately, especially when it comes to just being on time with everything that I want to do. And you know, if you are someone who suffers from anxiety, and you're someone who suffers from, or you're someone who has had an experience with depression, but you got out of it, but you sort of know what it feels like to be in that state, and when you are in that state per se, and or you know, you have any type of mental ailments that you have and that you consider, you know, is difficult for you to navigate with, especially when it comes to even being a neurodivergent in a neurotypical world. It's these types of things that make it a little bit different, our experience different than the experience of others when they are doing stuff like reaching their goals, or doing stuff like being, you know, productive, or not you know, giving into their overwhelming and overthinking emotions, being able to, you know, have your brain function on command. And it sounds hectic to not, you know, be in control all the time, but it's kind of part of the experience, knowing that, you know, there's as Sigmund Freud suggested, the id, it's three faces of your ego, but it's actually just understanding cognizance and understanding when it is you, when it is the higher version of yourself, or when it is the lower version of yourself that's speaking, and you sort of find the middle ground between which of these entities are trying to sort of come through and have their experience in this earth, or genuinely just choosing to operate in one energy. And choosing to operate in one energy sometimes could be difficult, you know, especially if you have so many different people just having so many different types of opinions, and then also bad people doing bad things to you, people, you know, hurting you, people treating you like you just don't deserve to be treated that way. When you have energy clashes with people like that, your entire life, it becomes difficult to just start to trust that people will, you know, just always know how to treat you. Or it sucks to have to be prepared for there to always be people who have the ability to treat you like shh. Or for there to be a possibility for there to just be no one at all, and you're just gonna have to be alone and achieve and reach your goals the way you ought to and the way you are supposed to, and then realizing that you don't need anyone other than the higher state of yourself in order to be successful. And that's kind of like where I am. It is hence why my consistency to me is so important. Even when, you know, people don't take your social media journey seriously, it's important that you take it seriously, whether you are doing it because you love it or whether you are doing it because you're actually seeking to build a community. Whether you're using your platform for whatever you're using your platform for, even on the days when you don't feel like posting, make sure that you get up, and even if you just ramble, let people know your feelings, let people know something funny about you, talk about what you're currently experiencing and how difficult that is for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, this get ready with me, just a whole nother topic of conversation, I guess, entirely. But my week has just been, you know, a repeated cycle of understanding what it means to be grown, a grown-up and alone, what it means to actually be out here in the world, and not have a lot of people that you could fall back to or back on to connect to. And it's kind of sad to experience the world like that. And I know I'm never alone. I know that. I know it's just my mind trying to convince me it's better to give up. It's better to not try in a world where people are mean and are nasty, and in a world where people already don't want you to try, don't want you to give it your all, or give it your best shot, or even, you know, try and do something with your life by any means, or even try and do more than one thing with your life. And I'm in a position where I can work in the public health sector, which is amazing for me because I love aiding in helping people. But, you know, doing that and pursuing so many other things, you know, in my talents, and having to navigate how to focus and honing in on several different areas that I could focus my skills on and hone it in order for it to be able to help someone else. And that doing that in life generally is, I think, a difficult part, but I think everyone should thrive and strive at least to run to their destiny, to literally not run in a sense of mad hustle culture, but at least have a pace of grace. Shout out Pastor Michael Todd, because a lot of us need to understand and remember that we need to have a pace of grace in areas where we don't have, I guess, what's the word? Patience for ourselves, for people around us, for our situations, for our positions, for our circumstances, for our feelings. Sometimes we are so mean to ourselves for just feeling, for our parents for not understanding, for our pockets for not having enough money so that we could go to therapy, you know, this, that, and all of that and the above. And it comes down and it boils down to where we just feel isolated and alone. And I'm pretty thankful that I at least have the ability to come here and just share my experience and share my story and share, you know, what I'm going through, because potentially it could relate to you, and potentially you could be going through the same thing too, where you just feel so overwhelmed with your future, that is still in its beginning progressing phase, even though you have established all these little steps and levels that you should already have in the bag. There's so many other things, circumstantial, the country that you're from, the history that you were raised into, you know, there's so many different things that we have to think of and consider when it comes to, you know, just us and our future. And to me, a lot of that has been going and happening this week, and it's just, you know, it's just been a tough one. But this is the completed look. I'm really obsessed with how it turned out. I feel pretty, I feel happy, and I feel back to my gorgeous self. I feel back to my gorgeous self. And sometimes you just have to, like, either put on the fancy dress or put on the fancy mug and just feel your own oats, so that you understand that sometimes anxiety is overwhelming, but sometimes we get in our head too much. And we need to understand that if we have a healthy, balanced attempt to healthy balancing lifestyle, then we know that we are progressing, because not progressing is very dangerous to every system of our homeostasis. And with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys want me to talk about anything else. If you guys want to see any specific makeup looks. I am obviously always so obsessed to do, sorry, I had to blend that in because I obviously messed that up a little. If you guys want to see any specific makeup looks, always let me know. Any makeup tips and tricks, even nails, please let me know. But I will see you guys on the next one. Always remember that your first attempt might fail, your second attempt might fail again, but it is all lessons built on showing you what not to do in order for you to succeed in an area. So don't look at your failures too hard. And this is a lesson that I need to take it myself too, because I am looking at my life like, you know, why are certain things not in position the way they are supposed to be? And it is kind of a little bit scary because they're not, but I'm also having to practice faith in that area as I am a believer and I am a Christian. I have to believe that my God is gonna provide. I have to believe that my God sees my needs, and I have to believe that if I ask, my needs will be met, if my needs go according to his word, his will, and his way. And I mean, if you're not doing anything bad, then why are you not just receiving goodness? Yeah, it's because we're still in a world with people that are bad, that refuse to see and want to do goodness. But me and you, we're gonna switch up the game. We're gonna change the game. You'll see.